Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Walsh. I am the acting state comptroller and lead the Office of the State Comptroller, which is an independent watchdog that investigates, audits, reviews, that sort of thing, state and local governments, about 2,000 entities total that are under our jurisdiction. I'm honored to be here today, and thank you, Senator and members, for taking the time to listen to my testimony. Important to note, I'm not speaking for the administration today, although I'm a member of the governor's cabinet. Because I am independent, I'm here today to talk about my views as the acting state comptroller, both about the bill in general and specifically as it relates to a report we've issued and how it issues our impacts the work that we do in attempting to protect taxpayer funds. So for 10 years I worked as a civil rights lawyer and have a million stories about ways in which we held the state and local government accountable through the Open Public Records Act. And I thought Mr. Cafferty today, on behalf of the Press Association, gave what was really an astute set of concerns about the bill text and ways in which it may reduce the incentive to comply with the requirement of transparency. Senator, based on your questions, my sense is there's elements of this bill, as I read through it, that are not consistent with your priorities. The bill that I read does have a provision in it that permits government to sue residents. At least that's the bill that is online. And there are others that I'll touch on. But I'd appreciate the chance to continue to comment, especially as it relates to a report we issued. Some of the best tips, I've been in the Office of the State Comptroller for about 4 years now, and some of the best tips we get come from New Jersey residents who file OPRA requests, get those documents, especially from local government entities, and share those with us with a tip where they think that something has gone wrong. They don't know who else to go to, but they know that the Office of the State Comptroller welcomes, receives their tips, and answers the phone whenever they call. Actually, answers the phone. Residents see something and it concerns them, and they come to us for an independent and objective look. Some of our most impactful reports started with an OPRA request, not from us. I fear that if documents are harder to get, we will get less transparency, and that will lead to more corruption, to fraud, waste, and abuse that either goes unchecked or that is not detected because there's not an effective way. If your goal was to save money, be careful. A less transparent government is very likely a more expensive one, I fear. Some examples: changes the definition of government records, exempts notes. The way in which it exempts notes will lead to sanitized records. The facts that actually were written down when the notes were taken will not be there. Rather, it will be the edited version. The emails were touched on, the timing, the idea that one can wait until sued to hand over the documents and then have the defense that I didn't know better. I think that's the sort of thing that does not accomplish the goals you articulated, Senator, and goes in the direction of changing the balance away from transparency to secrecy a bit too much. My job is to protect the interests of taxpayers and taxpayer funds, and I welcome that help. We have 70 employees who focus on Medicaid. We have 70 employees who focus on 2,000 entities, state agencies, sewer districts, fire districts, etc. We need all the help we can get to help keep government honest. Our policy as a state has been to welcome New Jersey residents and journalists to be involved and to help hold government accountable. And I respectfully suggest, Senator, that the bill that is before you retreats from that commitment in a way that I think may be unintended. My office issued a report in July 2022 that looked at the Government Records Council, which is a big part of this. What we found is that the Government Records Council took 3 times longer than the court process to decide Open Public Records Act cases. The timeframes, though, that are written in this bill, which seem on their face to address that sort of issue, I fear may be meaningless, because the delay does not come in the 90 days when somebody picks it up and works with it and gets it to the council. The delay comes when it gets sent to the Office of Administrative Law. The delay comes when it goes to mediation. I think that there needs to be an overall time frame if you want to address the issues that were discussed in our July 2022 report. Another issue is that not changing the ways that decisions are made, I fear, will make it very, very unlikely that it goes faster. Having a 10, 11, 12-member council be the first entity that decides the matter, it's akin to having the New Jersey Supreme Court take landlord-tenant cases and decide them. What we recommended in our report is that decisions be made earlier in the process and that the council function more like an appellate level, so that some of these things could be decided within 30, 60 days, and then they can decide whether the issues should be addressed by the council. It may be that both parties are happy with the initial adjudication, and that would really keep fees down as well. I welcome the chance to the committee, to you, Senator Sarlo, to be involved going forward to address these issues. I believe it is possible to address the important goals that you've articulated here without undermining the important transparency that the Open Public Records Act provides, and I commit myself and my office to helping you in any way we can. Thank you.